One mole in the police, one mole in the triads. Two lives built entirely on lies. As one man climbs the police ranks and another drowns in the underworld, both are hunted by the truth they can't escape. In this deadly game of loyalty and betrayal, the question is simple. Who will be exposed first? Double life? More like double tap that like button. And if you're undercover too, hit subscribe so we both stay safe. The film begins with Triad boss Han Sam deciding to plant several young gangsters inside the Hong Kong police force as undercover moles. Among them is Lau Kin Ming, who is tasked with infiltrating the police academy and rising through its ranks. At the same time, inside an academy office, a young cadet named Chan Wing Yan is being assessed by two senior officers. His quick thinking, composure, and instincts impress them, marking him as an ideal candidate for deep undercover work. Chan's expulsion from the academy is staged, concealing his new role as a covert operative reporting solely to Superintendent Wang Qixing, the only man in the force who knows his true identity. Over the next 10 years, Lau swiftly climbs the police hierarchy, earning trust and authority, while Chan lives under constant strain, immersed in the dangerous world of organized crime. One day, Lau visits an electronics store to buy a stereo system. Behind the counter, Chan is seen working as if he were the shop's owner. He advises Lau to purchase only the amplifier there and recommends another place for the speakers. After Lau leaves, a man storms in, berating Chan for driving away a customer. This reveals that Chan is not the shop owner, but is merely watching the store, with the owner paying protection money to his gang. Later, Chan meets Superintendent Wang on a rooftop. Frustrated, he accuses Wang of repeatedly breaking promises to pull him out of undercover work. Despite his exhaustion and resentment, Chan still provides valuable intelligence. Han Sam is preparing to buy drugs from Thai dealers within the week. Meanwhile, at police headquarters, Lau's team struggles to get information from suspects who refuse to talk without legal representation. Lau quickly disguises himself as a lawyer and enters the interrogation room. His convincing act, posing as a seasoned attorney supposedly sent by their boss and showing concern for the suspect's family, earns their trust. The suspect eventually gives up his brother's phone number, which Lau's colleagues use to locate the man, moving the case forward significantly. Inspector Big B praises Lau's skill and asks how he knew certain details, causing Lau a moment of hesitation before a phone call interrupts. After answering, Lau tells the team they will be working late that night. That evening, at an apartment overlooking another building, Superintendent Wang briefs his team. Their mission is to monitor a drug deal between a cartel and Thai dealers, striking when their undercover agent provides confirmation. Wang's words make Lau realize the target is none other than his own boss, Han Sam. As the team sets up surveillance equipment, Lau steps outside to make a phone call. Wang follows him, explaining that the mission details had to remain confidential until the last moment. Lau appears to be speaking to his father, saying he will be home late, but in reality he is warning Han Sam about the operation. Wang notices nothing suspicious. Inside, the police begin detecting cell phone signals in the surrounding area. Soon, Sam and his men enter the targeted building, coming into view of the surveillance team. Sam orders everyone to hand over their phones. Two of his men, Kyung and Piru, are told to prepare the getaway car, while Chan is instructed to bring in the Thai dealers. Meanwhile, Han Sam appears to be receiving transmissions from the police radio channel, suggesting that someone is feeding him inside information. Out on the street, Kyung notices a couple nearby who seem to be watching them. Piru dismisses his concern, pointing out that the pair are busy making out. In reality, the two are undercover officers, closely monitoring Sam's crew. Soon, Chan returns with the Thai drug dealers. The Thai leader offers Sam a cigar, which Chan inspects. Breaking it open, he reveals powdered drugs hidden inside. He takes a small sample, sniffs it, and tells Sam that the quality is good. Receiving a call from Sam, Kyung sets out to collect the shipment. The undercover couple immediately relay the movement to the surveillance team. One officer asks if they should send a car to tail him, but Superintendent Wang, focused on the earpiece in his ear, motions for silence. Inside Sam's room, the Thai dealers begin counting their payment. At the same moment, Wang suddenly orders his team to head to a container terminal, apparently the designated delivery site. The instruction unsettles Lau, who realizes that the target location is now clear. Sam, somehow able to hear these same police communication, quickly calls his men and instructs them to drive around the city to mislead any trailing units. Watching from a window, Chan notices the maneuver. It doesn't take long for Wong to realize that their radio channel has been compromised. He immediately orders the team to switch frequencies. Wong's tapping fingers draw Lau's attention. Chan is also tapping his fingers, revealing the silent Morse code channel they are using. Wong quietly passes word to another officer to cancel the tail on the old frequency. Sam, who hears this cancellation as well, grins and tells his men to retrieve the drugs. Using his own device, Lau taps into Wong's signal and discovers he is receiving coded messages from someone. Wong then instructs his units to change positions and prepare to intercept the gangsters. On the coast, Kyung meets the Thai dealers and inspects the shipment. At the same time, Lau discreetly plugs a small device into his laptop. Once Kyung confirms the drugs are genuine, Sam gives the order to take the delivery, unaware that Chan is secretly transmitting a signal to Wong. The message prompts Wong to position his men for the arrest. Just as the Thais are about to leave, Lau sends out a mass text to all mobile phones in the vicinity. Random passers-by are bewildered to receive the sudden warning, "Insider detected. Terminate the deal." Sam sees the message instantly and orders Kyung to throw the cocaine into the sea. As the police rush toward the scene, Kyung runs into the water with the shipment, tossing it overboard before he can be apprehended. Wong, watching from a distance, is furious that the evidence is lost. Now, both Wong and Sam are certain there is a mole inside their organizations, each aware that someone is leaking crucial information to the other side. After the operation, Chan approaches Sam to speak, but without warning, Sam smashes Chan's plaster cast, sending him into agonizing pain. Sam finds nothing hidden inside, unaware that the real receiver is mounted outside the window. Wong's team storms into the room, arresting everyone inside. But at the police station, the victory is short-lived. Without direct evidence, Wong is forced to release all of Han Sam's men. Meanwhile, Lau and his fiancée are settling into their new apartment when Lau receives a call from Sam. Furious over the massive loss from the failed operation, Sam orders Lau to find and eliminate the mole in his organization. Elsewhere, Chan finishes a mandatory therapy session with Dr. Lee. On his way out, he jokingly claims to be a police officer. Lee plays along, saying she's a cop too, and the two share a brief laugh before parting. At a golf course, Lau meets his superior, who gives him a new assignment: investigate the mole in Sam's operation. Lau is chosen because of his spotless record and history of cracking difficult cases, a perfect cover for his real loyalty. Back in the Triad Circle, Sam has his men fill out forms with their personal information. Chan teases Kyung for not knowing how to spell bodyguard, though Chan himself also writes it incorrectly. Later, in a darkened cinema, Sam discreetly passes Lau the information on his men for background checks. Chan, hidden in the shadows, watches the exchange. When Sam and Lau leave the theater one after the other, Chan follows, but because he never clearly saw Lau's face, he doesn't realize who he's tailing. Lau, sensing danger, hides behind a corner. When he finally steps out, Chan has vanished. The next day, Lau begins his investigation in another department. Wong is there and casually remarks that their undercover agent had almost identified the mole the day before, but lost him at the last moment. Lau knows exactly who Wong is talking about. The thought crosses his mind: if there had been a surveillance camera outside that cinema, his cover might already be blown. Over the following days, Lau quietly considers his next move. Eventually, he instructs Inspector Big B to keep Wong under constant surveillance. Meanwhile, Chan unexpectedly runs into his former girlfriend, Mei, a woman he hasn't seen in 6 years. Mei appears unaware that he is an undercover cop and still views him as part of the criminal world. They exchange polite small talk. Mei mentions that she's married and has a 5-year-old daughter, though after Chan leaves, the little girl corrects her. She's actually 6. Mei brushes it off, but as she watches Chan walks away, her expression hints at emotions left unspoken. Chan heads to meet Wong, unaware that Big B is shadowing the superintendent. Wong enters a building, and Big B quickly informs Lau of his location. Lau immediately calls Sam, saying he has found the mole. Inside, Chan and Wong are quietly exchanging information when Chan's phone rings. It's Piru, warning him that Sam has learned the mole's whereabouts. Outside, Big B spots a group of gangsters arriving at the building and updates Lau. Lau and a team of officers move toward the scene. The gangsters swarm every elevator and staircase, blocking all escape routes. Chan and Wong realize what's happening. The elevators are all heading upward, and heavy footsteps echo from the stairwells. Wong tells Chan to take the rooftop's window washing scaffold to escape while he stays behind, heading for the elevator. As the gangsters step out of the lift, Wong calmly pretends to be reading a magazine and speaking to his wife on the phone. Meanwhile, Chan slips out the back of the building, hails a taxi, and circles around to the front entrance. When he arrives, Chan freezes in shock. Wong's lifeless body lies on the ground, thrown from the rooftop by Sam's men. The sight leaves him momentarily numb, the weight of his mentor's loss sinking in instantly. Kyung pulls Chan away from the chaos, urging him to run. Moments later, Big B and his officers engage in a fierce gunfight with Sam's men. Kyung and Chan manage to escape in a car, speeding away from the scene. Lau soon arrives, his face showing controlled surprise, as if this turn of events was not part of his plan. In the getaway car, Kyung tells Chan that Superintendent Wong was incredibly tough. The gangsters had beaten him for a full 10 minutes without breaking him. Only then does Chan realize Kyung himself is gravely wounded. Knowing the gunfight will attract more police, Kyung tells Chan to leave immediately. Meanwhile, Lau calls Sam, questioning whether such an extreme confrontation was necessary. Sam coldly replies that sooner or later, it would come down to either his life or the cops. Lau listens in silence, his expression unreadable. Then his eyes fall on Wong's mobile phone and an idea begins to form. Lau contacts Chan, claiming he is now in charge of the case and needs Chan's help to take down Sam. Not long after, the evening news reports Kyung as the undercover officer who died during the operation. The story convinces Sam that Kyung must have been the mole. Chan subtly plants another seed of doubt, reminding Sam that he once sent him to their warehouse. If that location had been leaked to the police, perhaps there was still another informant to uncover. Sam decides to check the warehouse himself and sets off, unaware that he is being tailed by a police unit. Lau, however, orders the trailing officers to back off, explaining that the gang will only keep driving if they sense they are being followed. After the police car turns away, Sam's convoy changes course and heads toward the warehouse. What Sam doesn't know is that Chan is discreetly relaying their movements to Lau using Morse code. This allows the police to intercept them at a parking structure near the destination. Sam finishes his inspection and orders 2 of his cars to drive ahead. Chan steps out of the vehicle, saying Sam told him to stay behind. As the cars descend to a lower level, they are ambushed by waiting officers. In the chaos, Sam flees down a stairwell while making a frantic call to Lau. But Lau steps out from the shadows, blocking his escape. In that moment, Sam realizes the truth. Lau has betrayed him. Lau says nothing, his choice already made. He is done with the triad world and determined to live as a respectable police officer. Sam's empire collapses, and with it, Lau's criminal ties are severed. For Chan, it appears the nightmare is finally over. He can reclaim his true identity as a police officer, and Lau, having cut off his underworld connections, stands free of suspicion. The next day, Chan visits Lau's office. Lau is startled to recognize him as the man from the stereo shop years earlier. Chan says all he wants is his normal life back. He is tired of living in the shadows as a mole. Lau claims he cannot restore Chan's record without the password to Wong's confidential file. Chan tells him it is the Morse code for Undercover. As Lau begins the process, Chan's eyes drift to a paper document bag on the desk, the same type Sam once used to collect information on his men. Slowly, realization dawns. Lau, the man he thought he was working with, is in fact the mole within the police force. When Lau returns to the room, Chan is gone. He notices the bag has been moved and instantly understands that Chan has discovered his secret. Without hesitation, Lau returns to Wong's office computer and deletes Chan's entire file from the police database, erasing the last official record of his identity as an officer. The next day at Lau's apartment, he discovers a compact disc containing a recording of his earlier phone conversation with Han Sam. Almost immediately, Chan calls, claiming he found the disc in Sam's office and demanding they meet. Lau arrives at the agreed location, unaware that someone is shadowing him. Inside the building, Chan moves quickly, disarming Lau and locking a pair of handcuffs around his wrists. Lau insists that his choices were forced upon him when he was young, but now he wants to live as a good cop. Chan refuses to help conceal his past crimes. Lau, in turn, coldly reveals that he has already deleted Chan's identity from the police database. With no official record, no one will believe Chan is an officer. Anger flashes across Chan's face as he raises his pistol to Lau's head. At that moment, Big B steps in, ordering Chan to release Lau. Chan instead pulls Lau closer, using him as a hostage, and slowly backs toward the elevator. As he steps inside, a gunshot rings out. Chan collapses, shot in the head by Big B. Once Chan is dead, Big B calmly tells Lau that he too is a mole planted by Sam within the police force, and reassures him that he has destroyed Sam's incriminating tape. The two ride the elevator down together, but when the doors open at the ground floor, Lau steps out alone. He flashes his police warrant card to the officers waiting outside, declaring himself one of them. Inside the elevator, Big B's lifeless body leans against the wall. Lau has eliminated him to erase the final link to his criminal past. In the aftermath, police records list Big B as the mole within the force. Chan's reinstatement file from the academy confirms he was an undercover officer, restoring his honor in death. Chan is laid to rest beside Superintendent Wong. At the funeral, Lau stands before the graves and offers a solemn salute to the man who unknowingly fought on the same side. A flashback closes the story, showing a younger Lau at the point in life where he first chose his path, and a silent acknowledgement that he wished he had taken another. So, mole in the cops, mole in the triads, everybody's undercover, nobody's sleeping at night. If you survived this roller coaster of betrayal, smash that like button harder than a rooftop fight scene. And hey, don't go ghosting me like Lau did to his conscience. Hit that subscribe so you're not living a double life without these recaps. Drop a comment too. Are you Team Chan or Team Lau? Or just Team, please don't throw me off a roof?